Okay, just checking to make sure I've got good service. Um, and I'll wait a few minutes just to see if anybody else is gonna come in. If not, the live is going to be saved, so um, it'll still be on my channel if somebody wants to see it later. Okay. So tonight, I'm gonna be making a book sleeve. Last night I made a tote bag on live, and it's right here. And tonight I'm gonna make a book sleeve to match it. And this is an example of what the book sleeve looks like. And it's just a padded pouch to hold your book. It's also big enough to hold like a Kindle, or an iPad would fit in here too. So I've already cut out the fabric, and I'm doing it out of the cheetah print to match the tote bag. And the dimensions are 10 by 12, and you don't necessarily need a pattern. You can just cut it straight out of the fabric, but I use just some wrapping paper to make my pattern. And I cut out 2 pieces of the cheetah print for the outside of the fabric, and I'm also using some batting. This is what I'm going to quilt. Using some cotton fabric for the lining, which is the exact same size as the cheetah print fabric. And I've already started it because I didn't want to be on live for a long time, and the quilting takes a while. So in order to quilt it, all I did was I drew a starting line with this pen, and this is, I think it's washable. I drew a line with it. And hey, Lahina, hey, thank you for coming back again. I know you were here last night. So I just started with just going over the dimensions. So for the book sleeve, this measures 10 inches by 12 inches, and I'm quilting it. This one I've already actually quilted, and you can kind of see the lines right here. Those are just the stitching lines. And just to make sure I got it straight, I used the ruler just to draw the starting line. So I just went from corner to corner, and I just went through stitching like this grid pattern just to quilt it. Oh goodness. No internet in the car. No, my internet in the house for some reason it's not doing that great tonight. So I'm using just my cell phone. So hopefully that works okay. So these are the 2 pieces for the outer bag. This one's already quilted. This one I started, but you can see like this corner I haven't quilted, and all I'm doing is just stitching on top of the material, just stitching lines to do the quilting. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get started on this one. After I finish the quilting, then I'll put the outer part of the bag together. Now I've got another phone over here just so I can see the chat. You know what? I meant to put a towel or something under my machine because it was sliding earlier when I was sewing. And I know some people, when they're doing the quilting, they go ahead and draw lines all over the whole thing. But all I do is just draw at least one line in each direction just to get me started. And then I just line the needle up maybe about a half an inch. Yeah, about a half an inch from that seam line, just so I can keep it straight. So So just finishing up the quilting on this one, and then I'll go ahead and put it together. I think that's it. So both of the pieces are quilted, and I'm just gonna put them together and sew basically a U shape, leaving it open up here. That's the opening where your book would go. And I'm sewing this using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. It's kind of thick, so it's going slow. When you get to the corner, just pivot so you leave the needle down in the fabric and then turn it. And still doing a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I've done the outside of the bag or the sleeve, and I'm just using my fingers to poke out the corners. Probably would be easier if I use something. I think I got, there's a lot of stuff over here. I don't see my, usually I use like a crochet hook or something to poke out the corners. But this is it. This is the outer sleeve, the outer part of the sleeve. And why does it look like it's crooked? Maybe I just need to, okay, I just need to press it. And you can also add a pocket on the outside, which if you're gonna add a pocket, you would add that before you sew the two sides together, but I'm not doing that on this one. And just gonna sew the lining, doing it the same way. And the bag I made last night, it was cheetah print with the hot pink lining, so I'm just doing the same thing with the pouch. Still sewing it with the 1/4 inch seam allowance. And for the lining, I didn't use any interfacing or anything. The batting that's on the main bag would be enough. So, stitching that one the same way. And I'm not using any pins or clips or anything to hold it together. Like, it's just straight stitches, so it shouldn't slip or anything like that. I have another phone over here just so I can check and make sure I'm not missing anything in the comments. And for these sleeves, I have seen some people do like a button closure I've seen some people do a zipper, and I'm not sure, like if I do make these to sell to someone, I'll add a closure, but this is actually just going to be for me, and I'm okay with it just being just like it is. I didn't really show what I did. So I sewed the lining the same way that I sewed the outer bag, and I just put the lining in here with the wrong sides touching. And I'm gonna go ahead and just clip this together just to make sure it doesn't move around. And I like to use clips instead of the safety pins, and this is just one of the clips that I use to hold it together. And I'm just opening up the seams so it'll lay flat. I should have plugged up the iron so I can press it, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. Like, it's 100% cotton fabric and it's kind of stiff, so it's easy enough just to finger press it. Okay, so I've got it all pinned, and what I'm going to do now is just sew around it with about 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. And then to finish it, I'm just going to use this bias tape to go around the edge of it, and it'll cover up the raw seams. So it'll be like this. It'll look like this one with the bias tape. And you really don't have to stitch it. Like, you really can just go ahead and do all of this in one step. The only issue is that you'll have to constantly fidget with it to make sure it stays together. So I'm just going to go ahead and stay stitch it and then add the bias tape. And this is a really it's a quick to sew project. The only thing that would make it take a long time is doing the quilting, but the quilting part really isn't necessary. I was kind of thinking I would be on here about 30 minutes, but I don't even think it's going to be 30 minutes. Or at least it won't take 30 minutes to do the project. So I'm just going to trim these loose threads, and then I'll put on the put the bias tape on. Yeah, that should be good. And this is single fold, double fold bias tape. And I'll show you how it looks, but basically I'm just going to sandwich the raw seams. What is a slithering? Never mind, I know what it is. Ask your niece what kind she wants. Dang, you know what? I got the wrong bias tape. This is too narrow. So, let me see if I got some more. Because what I need to do is to be able to open this up and sandwich the seam between it. And this ain't wide enough, if you can see how that is. Well, let me see. It might work. It's not gonna work. I bought the wrong one. Now I've got red. This one's wide enough. And I've got drawers over here with supplies in it. I think I got pink somewhere. Let's see. Got a drawer down here with stuff. Is this one? This is single fold. I've got pink. I don't think I'm gonna like the way the pink one looks, so I may just have to finish that part later. And I just bought the black a few days ago. I guess I just didn't pay attention. Oh, this is single fold too. So, well, that ain't what I wanted to happen. But I'll show you what it looks like, or what it's supposed to have looked like if I had the right stuff. So this is the bias tape that I need, just in the wrong color. So it comes already folded. Let me open it up so you can see. Okay. So it comes folded like this. And what my plan was to sandwich the raw edge. And then you just do this all around the top of the sleeve. So it looks like this. So I'll just have to finish that part later. But other than that, the bag is done. So just to recap, the two pieces, the front and the back, measures 10 inches by 12 inches. And it's quilted. So I took the piece of fabric, attached it to this piece of batting, and I sewed the quilting lines on here, just diagonal lines in both directions. Once I did that, I sewed the two pieces together, then turned it right sides out. Did the same thing for the lining. And then I put the lining inside the bag with the wrong sides touching. And I did a basting stitch up here just to hold it together. And so now the only thing that I need to do is put the bias tape on here. And I just don't have the right color, so it would be black. So just to show you again what the finished sleeve would look like. Some thread on here. And then you just, put your book in here. So if you're, on the go, you want to throw your book in your tote bag, you just drop it in the sleeve so it won't, get damaged. You can add some sort of closure right here. You can add a button or not. Like, it would be fine just like this. So, and just to show you again, this is a tote bag I did last night online, and then this would be the sleeve that goes with it. It would be real cute to add like an embroidery or a name or a brooch or something like that, and then you would have a set. So tomorrow night I did plan to go live again to sew another accessory to go in the tote bag. I think it might be a keychain or a zipper pouch, or both, because the keychain won't take that long. But if you follow me, just be on the lookout for a notification about going live and what project I'll be making. It'll be around the same time, about 9 o'clock. So that is it. Let's see. Hufflepuff. Okay. I am somewhat familiar with Harry Potter, but not for real. So unless anybody has any questions, that's the end of the live. If you watch it later, if you have questions or any comments, you can still leave it in the comment section. I'll see it And if you have any thoughts on what other project I could make that would go with the tote bag. So the overall theme is basically like for a book lover or people who like to read. So you got your tote bag, you got your book sleeve. Really, a tote bag can be for anybody. Um, the keychain I think would be good. Zipper pouch, just because the bag is kind of deep. But if you can think of anything else I could add to it, just leave it in the comments. All right, again, thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you have a good night. Oh, now let me end it.